Let me fix my hair. So pretty and bald. uh, Fixing my hair. Yes, this is how I fix my hair all the time. Just and then just poof. It's very poofy when it's dry. Oh, someone's here, I believe. Hold on. I haven't even checked the. It's excellent. Okay. It says someone's here, but this thing's not loading, so I'll just move this down. No, okay, no one is here. Someone's here? No one is here. I'm confused. Alright, hold on. Give it a minute to set the record straight. It's probably still loading in. So far, no. Yeah, haha. See, there's no one here. It's just setting the record straight. Okay. Before I continue, here is Nickel in Dominic's starship. He is still working on it. No, he's not working it. He's not working on it off screen. He will be working on it live, just not now. He probably might do it tomorrow. Probably. We might go live tomorrow. Probably. No promises. I know tomorrow will be a Sunday, but I think that would be our best bet to do it live. So I may have to discover the whole no Sunday business, but I'll definitely try to. I'll definitely try to do. I'll definitely try to do it live Monday, or have it live Monday. Oh, one concurrent viewer. Yay! So there is someone here. Hello, someone. So yeah, we'll continue that sometime this week. Definitely this month. Mostly. One of the two. We'll continue this. That is. Well, Dominic, mostly. I'll be here for the commentary and reading the chat. Hot cocoa, by the way. Okay. The Artificer. Let's see, where is it? Oh, it's right here. Let's see. Okay, I promised that I'll reread page 18, 19 onward. And then go on. And then continue onward. Man, chapter one is very big. It's just thick. Just kidding though. No, it's not that long. It's how many more pages before we get to chapter one? Who cares? We'll find out later. One view, one concurrent viewer. Someone is here. So I don't know. Please type in the chat in the down below or wherever. I don't know. It's somewhere here on the screen. The chat, that is. Just say hi, hello, and all that stuff, and I'll read your comment. Okay, before we continue, he will summarize. I keep forgetting to do the summary. Okay, so he died. It's fine. Yeah, he just died. He just dies. Yeah, and he dies playing a video game, and then God said, not not God like Yahweh or whoever. Not Odin. No, it's just some random god, but we don't know who it is. Just it's good. It could be Merlin. It could be someone who's not a god and is just very powerful with magic. It's like, ha! I've been spying on you. Anyways, what's this person's name? I just now noticed that he doesn't have a name, does he? He names a guy named Kai. The planet is called Echion that he's now on. By the way, that's part of the summary. He's now on a planet called Echion. Or Echion? Or Echion? Evian? Echion? Yeah, let's go there. Echion. He's now on the planet Echion because God said, hey, let me revive you real quick. He's forgotten his memories because he's dead. And he didn't really have much of a life except for just staring at a computer for almost 20 years. Not that he was born out from the womb and then ever since he was a baby, he's just stared at the computer and playing some random RPG like Elden Ring or something. I don't know. I like Dungeons and Dragons, maybe. I don't play many online games, so I wouldn't know. Let's assume it's some sort of Dungeons and Dragons game that he's been playing for 20 years. We don't know how old this character is. He's just basically he's a complete slate, a blank slate, just completely just like a me. Like you take you take a me, you pick him up, and you just drop him somewhere else on the map. Well, in this case, he died, and then God picks him up like a me, and then puts him on a different planet. Not actual God, but the God in the story. So, or I'm assuming God. Let's just call it this being the God, right? And so he puts him on the planet, zaps his arm, not actually zap it, but you know, like, hey, your arm, your left hand in particular, because I'm assuming that's his left hand. I mean, yeah. Your hand, it's now green and it can produce magical sticks. Not magical sticks. It can produce new weapons magically or whatever. So far we've gotten a weapon. He's gotten a weapon currently or wooden stick. But like he has this ability to like have it turn red, but we don't know what red means at the moment. And it can turn green, but we don't know what green means. I'm assuming it means to create. So, and now he's in this world where it's basically just old village like. And I'll take a sip of vodka. And his socks are just the horrible condition, the most horrible condition you can think of when it comes to just running out in the wild with no shoes on, just socks. And now it's sweatpants and a t-shirt, right? And just their money. His shirt is now sticks sticking out of it because of the hay. Everything's just the worst condition possible as far as a tire goes. And he's been chased by farmers that he jump scared and then ran away from. Luckily he's not killed or anything like that. But now he can magically produce things. So far he's produced a stick with a spear-like stick. But likewise, I will reread the bottom part of page 18. I've got the paperback version. I don't know if there's a hardcover version. Probably not. There's a digital version, which you could get. I don't remember how to get the digital version. Oh. It's now long deleted on my phone. And not that, if any reason, not like, oh, I've got to delete this personally. No, I just prefer the hardcover. Or not hardcover. Tangible. Prefer something tangible than something that's just on the device. Whatever. Anyways, so as I was saying, yeah, he ran away from them, nearly getting killed once or twice. God basically put him onto this planet because he said, you know what? Entertain me. I want to see how well you do on this planet. By yourself. Well, here's a cup of infinite water. And here's this magic. Seems reasonable. Completely reasonable. Hey. Why complain? Now we're starting to read at this right now. Page 18. Or continuing, technically. We're not starting the book, but you get it. This really was a different world. He wasn't sure why it was only sinking in now of all times, but he supposed it was better sooner or later. He was dead, at least as far as his last life was concerned. He had no money, no food, no water, no bitches. No, he had the water. He appreciated the water. Maybe it was the man with the midnight skin, or the way his fingers still tingled from the warmth of the magic, or perhaps it was seeing how each pine needle on the trees around him splintered outwards like barbs instead of spikes. Home was a long way off, and there was no way for him to get back, at least as far as he knew. His knees hit the forest floor, pricked and prodded by the needles that coated it. Blood pulsed through his ears like hammers smashing at cobble. That sounds painful. Nothing. He had nothing. And instead of being patient and trying to figure out a way to talk to the locals, he pissed them off and almost gotten bolted twice. Now he was alone in the wilderness, in the rapidly chilling night, with nothing but some ragged clothing, crusty socks, and a few stray flecks of hay that stuck to his shirt. Again, take out the socks, take out the shirt, find a river, go to the nearest water supply, go to a river. Or if you want to, since the cup has unlimited amount of water in it, seemingly unlimited amount of water in it, pour the cup over it and like over your clothing and whatnot, and just beat the shit, beat the crap out of the like find a boulder, like a nice boulder. That's a nice boulder, and then just start beating the like the clothing against the side of the just whipping it right and just side of the rock of the boulder right and make sure it's nice and wet and I'm saying beat the clothing because there's no soap or you don't have soap currently, so I guess beat the dirt as much as dirt as possible, or just take the shirt off since it just has stuck with peanut with the what with the hay. Yeah, a few flecks of hay. Since it's just a few flecks of hay, take it off, and then individually take off the hay, or just smack it against the boulder without water. You don't have to have water. So you don't have to pour the water over the shirt. I started reading it, but like definitely beat the crap out of the socks. Like, come on, at least clean it with the water that you have. I mean, you have infinite water in the cup. Pour the infinite water over the socks, and then just scrub it. And if it gets damaged, or if it's just too far gone, to just get rid of the socks. You don't need the socks to walk on grass or dirt. It'd be painful, but after a while you get used to it because like I walk outside barefoot. Just get used to it. Skill issue. Now, granted, the only downside to no socks is there probably won't be any protection from like snakes or whatever would be trying to attack you. Assuming this planet has snakes. Assuming this planet has snakes or some sort of lizard-like creature with no limbs, right? And that slithers on its body, right? Assuming that it has some sort of vicious animal that could penetrate skin, or its teeth that can easily penetrate skin and just sink its venom and kill you, or poison? Venom? I think it's venom. Whatever. No, poison is something else. It's venom. Anyways, like socks are not going to help you whatsoever. Leather shoes, probably. Wooden shoes, most likely. But the socks are not. So you're getting rid of those socks. They might help you against spiders. Probably. Maybe a little bit. But nah, you might as well just get rid of the socks, just throw them away. But I'm kind of glad he doesn't because I've already read this chapter, but I'm not gonna spoil. For y'all, if y'all haven't read the chapter, you should definitely read the book first, or the digital copy. I got my digital copy from paying $10 in Patreon to the Celtic Phoenix himself. There's a link under his description in his videos. Go watch his channel, Celtic Phoenix. Watch. You'll find a video. The Artificer by Raymond McNeil. Just type that in, into YouTube. You'll definitely find his channel. So yeah. Anyways, continuing. Moving on. Or just go into Amazon, buy a book there. I've already given the credit, whatever, in the first live stream, whatever. I'm just saying, like, get rid of the socks. They're disgusting now. Okay, where was it? Yeah. He rolled onto his rear at the base of a tree, bracing his head against it in defeat. At least with a knife, he could try something. Try something. Like hunting or maybe mugging. Right? Even then, that'd probably be a fool's errand. His muscles had to have atrophied with his life. Atrophied, whatever. But with his lifestyle, he wouldn't be strong enough to use all that effectively. The idea of mugging also didn't sit well on his tongue. To survive, maybe, but it didn't feel right regardless. Still, if he had won, he might be able to Minecraft himself. That'd be nice. Just opt out. Maybe he could make something rudimentary with a couple sticks, like a pike or a spear. By the way, I've already discussed this in my previous stream with similar jokes, but I'm going to cut to the chase. Just stop that. Maybe he could make something rudimentary with a couple sticks, like a pike or a spear. But how hard was it to spear fish? A red glow caught his eye. He found his arm once more illuminated. He was about to dismiss it, but this time he found something more in the glow. Hovering only inches from his fingertips was a stick. Not just any stick. It's not just a stick. That's right. What's that song? What's the song? I want to stick. Sorry. My stick. Whatever. Sorry. Not just any stick. Not just any stick, mind you, but it's. If you can hear that's my neighbors being stupid or doing something stupid to their vehicle or something. Definitely, they're definitely my neighbors with their vehicle. Anyways, not just any stick, mind you, but a sharpened stick. One made entirely out of the same red light emanating from his tattoo. My bad. He pushed his hand forward, made to grab the stick with his glowing hand, only for it to stay the same distance away from his fingers. It was a projection of the light. That added up. Trying his other hand, the fingers slipped right through the projection. Unlike any hologram he'd ever seen, it didn't shimmer or change. His fingers skimmed right through it. His fingers skimmed right through it like air. What am I supposed to do with you? Okay, this feels like a video game. Like some sort of video game, like comp set where you grab a bunch of sticks and then just put it together, and the game just goes like Lego. Kind of like Lego. Like make a blueprint of what thing you're supposed to build or whatever. I don't know, something, something like that. What am I supposed to do with you? He asked, flexing his fingers. The red flickered, but otherwise remained steady. Holding his hand closer to his face to see the projection more clearly, he could make out the stick. He could make out the stick look unerringly straight, and its point was probably precision cut. Something like that would be, well, not perfect, but much better for hunting than if he'd sharpened it with not much, but well, not perfect, but much better for hunting than if he'd sharpened a stick on his own. And we're still excellent. 26 minutes in. He dropped his right hand to the ground and used the light to find a stick of suitable length. And the time is 10:16. Okay. Yay! He dropped his right hand. Okay. He dropped his right hand to the ground and used the light to find a stick of a suitable length, holding it up to his face. Curious, he laid his left hand flat and ran the stick below it, wondering if it might do something. And it actually did. The light turned blue. That was it. Well, great, he huffed. If they have raves on this world, I'll be the talk of the town. He sent a glare to his hand. Can't you do something useful? Wait, something was different. The stick, the protector one, not the real one, was green. Wait. Go. Nothing happened. Activate. Nothing. Markiplier. Just kidding. Nothing. Frustrated, he clenched his left hand. Everything turned green. The protection, the light, the stick, and after a split second it faded away, leaving an expertly sharpened, well-polished wooden spear sitting in his hands. Holy moly! It says a word I cannot say on YouTube. Holy moly, Batman! It's Batman! It's a stick. Holy moly, Batman, it's a stick. Oh, well, Robin, use the stick. He idly flipped the stick around. The weight was the same, but more evenly distributed. Perfectly distributed. Stepping into the air, the weapon moved smoothly through it, staying on target as much as his shaking hands could make it. He sat down and fished for another raw stick, pawing around in the now moonlight night. Finding it, his eyes fell to the tattoos. How had he started the glowing? He was thinking of a spear. He thought of one again. Nothing happened. Come on. He sucked in a breath and thought of a stick spear again, of making a stick spear. And his hand began to glow. He smiled. We're in business! All right, everyone, get your spears. Buy one for $1 and you'll get a free one later this afternoon. We're in business. It could make spears. He could make spears with magic. His heart began to hammer. What else could he make? I can't say something that I want to say. I just got Starting small, he imagined a wooden sword. Said then he could defend himself with more effectively than a simple pointed stick. The protection shifted to a simplistic sword design. Without hesitation, he stuck the new stick under his hand and clutched his fist amid the light turned blue. Another flash of green light, and he was holding, it was shaped like the sword in his mind. It was shaped like the sword in his mind, but it didn't feel particularly sturdy. In fact, it felt pretty brittle. Maybe you need something the more hardened wood. A single swing against an exposed root and nearby proved that when it cracked in two with a single hit. He scratched his chin. Gathering the two hands, he started the process again. This time, though, he paid more attention to the projection when his arm turned blue. Instead of going green like with the spear, it turned orange. So the magic has a magical system. A magical computer. Not enough material. Not efficient material. Oh no. I summon Excalibur! He hefted the sword pieces in one hand. Maybe there's not enough material? That makes some sense. Everything about this power matched a pretty simple line of logic once he figured out the first part. Now we can make a mech suit. It just comes out of the forest with a wooden mech suit made of like sticks, stones, and leaves. And it can somehow shoot out projectile magic or something. It's like, or fire. Yeah, no, flit. Steel. I'm so sorry. But that'd be so funny. He was like, ha ha! Beat that, farmers! Minecraft mech. Maybe something even simpler was called for. Looking at his muddy socks, his mind began to beg for a pair of shoes. And lo and behold, a floating pair of clogs appear in the shimmering haze. He slid the sword pieces under his palm, but again the projection was orange. Frowning, he reached to where his spear sat and added to the pile. The moment he did, the projection turned green. Projection turned green. It was an issue of the material. It was an issue of material. Resting his spear to the side, it was useful after all. He scourged for another stick to add to the pile. Once added, he clenched his fist, so appeared a pair of smooth, if not little dry-looking clogs. The sheared end of one of the sticks remained nearby. It was refused from the transformation, he figured. So basically, it takes something just too much and it's like, nah, fuck off. Oh, no swearing. No swearing. No swearing. Bad Ravenwood. We do not swear here. We do not. Where are they? He eagerly pulled his socks from his feet and slid the shoes on, basking in the instant support they provided under his heels. They were perfectly sized and contoured to his feet. Convenient. That'd be funny if the first pair is like, oh, these are too damn small. And then he's just to continue making like clogs. Just a bunch of clogs. Sorry, just a bunch of clogs. Like a pile of clogs just are to slowly rise as they're like, oh, this one's just too thin. Oh, this one's too wide. This one's too short. This one fits almost perfectly, but does not fit my big toe. This doesn't match the one on the right. This one has a bug in it. No, it probably refused the bug. Yummy hot chocolate. Where was it? The basking the instant support they provided under his heels. They were perfectly sized and contoured to his feet, and though it was weird and chilly to wear them without socks, it felt infinitely better than leaving his feet exposed. But what to do with his socks? Ditch them! Ditch them, you don't need socks. Why do we have socks? Just to feel good? But what did they do with the socks? They were covered in grime and twigs, and he entertained throwing them away. At least he did. At least he entertained the mere thought of throwing them away. But he considered another option. Bringing up the image of his clean, pristine socks in his mind, he placed them under his hand. In a flash of gleaming light, he found He found a clean pair of socks, practically as good as the day as he gotten them. And that is what I do not want to spoil. Was that he gets new clean pair of socks. Nothing wrong with that. No, nothing wrong with getting a new pair of clean socks. It's just I didn't want to spoil you the clean pair of socks unless you've already read it. I don't know why it's a big deal to me, but it's a big deal. It's a pretty big deal. Not to spoil you about socks. Anyways, gonna save on the laundry bill with that. Well, you could have saved with the laundry bill regardless. If you just use the infinite water to pour over your socks and just scrub it against like a rock or something. But yeah, again, still use the magic to clean the socks, which is good. Don't get me wrong. He probably needs socks. He probably has a different like. He's probably just built like a wuss. I kid. Then again, this is a fictional character, so I can make fun of him. Wuss. Need socks. I'm gonna save on the laundry bill with that one, he muttered, happily sliding the socks over his shoes once more. Wait. Oh, his toes. Oh, bugger. I thought he was a dummy. I thought he was a dummy. And I thought he was sliding his socks over his over his clogs. So like, yes, gotta keep those clogs warm. So it says socks over his toes, over his toes, over his toes. He muttered, happily sliding the socks over his shoes. Not shoes. I did it again! Okay. Sliding the socks over his toes once more. As he stood, a wave of fatigue rippled down his spine. It's just, it's just well down, like this rippled effect. This is spine just it's just ripple. I can imagine like a spine like rippling like water. Just, whoa. Just pass out. Anyways, ripple down the spine, making his rise. Figurative spine, making his rise more difficult than it should have been. Where the hell had that come from? He wondered. The distance he ran hadn't exactly been a marathon, but it must have been somewhere close. If that's how close, if that it must have been somewhere close. If that's how he was feeling. Stumbling forward, he longed for a bed, for somewhere warm to rest. Today was a headache, and his gut was telling him sleep. His gut was telling him sleep deprivation would only make it more complicated. He'd already died once of it. He already died of it once, and he wasn't particularly fond of the idea of going through a second round. Sorry, kid, you're dead. This time I'm taking away your clothes. Wait, no, hold on. No. Ow. My shit. My leg. My leg. Sorry, kid. This time I'm taking away your magic as well, and your brain cells. And you don't forget, you're just living in hell. Not actual hell. Not actual. hockey sticks. I like them just visible. Hell, whatever. NetherRealm. YouTube. Behave. Okay, whatever. What is it? Round 2. Your magic is no weaker. Again, his arm lit up, displaying the bed he remembered from his home. Oh, okay. That's how his magic works. A plain affair, but one he willingly gave his right arm for. Not his left arm, though. That was proving invaluable. Oh, sorry, it was his left arm. The image does not lie. Anyways. But one he'd willingly give his right arm for. Not his left arm. Would he have enough material to even make something like that? He scratched his head. It wasn't exactly something that could be built from wood and leaves. A cot, however. Bringing the projection to his face, he squinted into it. He dissected the rudimentary design. How much wood would a good woodchuck cannot do it. I can't do it. How much time? Okay, we got almost an hour, and we were almost good. How much would he need to make that? Sucking in a breath for stability, he set about. This is like the forest, or the forest, the sons of the forest, or whatever. The forest sun, or something. I don't know. The forest. Sons of the forest. He set about using his arm to light his path. Oh, sorry. Second, in a breath for stability, he set about using his arm to light his path and gather as many sticks and leaves as he could find. The latter were particularly rare, considering that the forest was filled with pine. There was a lucky stroke where he found what looked like palm fronds, which confused him, especially because the light from his arm didn't stretch up to the treetops for him to see. What kind of climate was he in? What time of year was it? It was certainly cold out, but not freezing. So hopefully he'd survive the night without proper shelter. He actually scavenged for extra leaves on the off chance he could make some kind of blanket, but he didn't have too much hope for that. Whoever heard of a blanket made out of leaves? Definitely not me. Definitely not I. No. Blanket of leaves? No, never. With a pile that more resembled a bonfire kindling than parts for a cot, he focused on making the bedding. He was pleased to discover he could multitask, adding a blanket to the holographic mix. And he was pleased even more when he had the supplies for both. In a flash of green, the bundle of sticks and leaves morphed into a low, camp-ready cot and blanket. Both made of carefully sheared and threaded palm palm fronds. There was even some material left over, clumped beneath the cot's feet. Good. With that, he could make a fire. Burn, baby, burn. Sorry. With that, he could make a fire. Maybe some traps for the rescue weapon. Maybe some traps to make sure something came to eat. Maybe some traps to make sure nothing came to eat him in his... Why was everything spinning? Spinning. 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 So magic exhausted him. He probably should have seen it coming. Well, now he knew not to push himself. He woke up around midday if the sun was anything to go by. Wishing he had landed on the cot and not on the ground next to it, he massaged a crick in his neck and brushed away the dirt on his chest. Now he has to make a new shirt. At least he could be thankful for being alive and not torn to shreds by something living in the forest. Yeah, he definitely grateful. Very convenient. Yeah, very convenient. Ah, my knees. Ah, my knees. I need some. See, now I'm drinking water. Upgrade from hot cocoa. Give me a second. I'll just drink this water real quick. Okay. What is it? Huh? He meditated on how to proceed, burning daylight. How to proceed, burning daylight. He could always work to make a life for himself out in the wilderness and hope that plays out well. But that sounded like a last resort. Maybe he could communicate with the locals somehow? Could he produce books? Maybe he could make an English to whatever dictionary? Oh, maybe if he could get some metal, he could whip up a universal translator. A translator. Behold, Perry the Platypus. It is the universal translator. The ones he'd seen on YouTube that haven't been perfect, but provided that kind of stuff was possible. Had been perfect, but it proved that kind of stuff was possible if his ability was versatile enough. On second thought, metal wasn't exactly widely available where he was. And would he have to still program it? Did the ability craft software too? What exactly were the limits of his arm? He gave it a good long stare and wondered. Could he make things that weren't even technically possible? like a house made out of air or a translator made out of grass and wood. His arm came to life, its eerie red glow dim in the open daylight. He expected to see one of the stick-like translators in the projection, the ones he's seen online. But it wasn't giving him that, nor did it present him with a book on alien script. Instead, it presented to him a simple pin, a tiny badge with a wood needle back. Huh. Intrigued, he sat on his cot and picked up some of the refuse from his work the night before, holding a bundle of twigs in his fingers. Holding his hand over them, the light turned blue and the projection went green. A single clench of his fist, and in his hand sat a blank wooden button, no bigger than his thumb. Breathing. He felt a wave of fatigue hit him. Nothing serious, but it was sharper than even when he made the cut. Perplexed, his fingers worked to unfasten the back and pin it to his shirt. Almost immediately something felt different. Not bad, but definitely different. Letting the feeling sink in, he sat there, keeping his eyes appraised of the forest around him. Nothing happened. Nothing changed. Okay, he muttered. His stomach growled. Frowning, he found his cup, nestled in the pile of crafting refused after he passed out. With a swig of water, he resolved to look for something to eat. Standing, he racked his brain for what he might be able to find in a forest like this. He could see the tops of the trees now, and indeed there were a few that branched out into wide palm-like leaves. It was an odd shape, definitely. And it, along with the weird spruces, made it hard to gauge what kind of forest he was in. Not that he knew much about forests or any kind of wilderness, but most of his experience stemmed from gaming, and he was nowhere near deluded enough to believe that reflected much of reality. No, probably not. You're doomed. Doomed to die. Let's see how much time we have. Okay, we got plenty of time. Where was it? Reality. Okay. He picked up the spear from last night and he hoped he could nab a rabbit or something. Kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit. Or something. It didn't really sit well with him, but he didn't have many options. Hours later, it proved to be a more difficult option than he thought. Well, no, that was wrong. He knew it wouldn't be an easy option. He was 200 pounds of skin and bone, probably less leading up to his death. He only caught up a glimpse of a single furry, little forest creature, something resembling a squirrel and a chipmunk, and it scuttered off before he could even heft the spear. Single furry must be killed, eliminated at all cost. Okay, sorry. However, there was one strike of providence. Berries. A whole bushel. Black and red with a coarse film. They looked edible. But I read enough stories to know that berries in the wild couldn't be trusted. They cannot. In fairness, animal meat probably stood as big as a risk, but cooking over an open flame would hopefully fix that. Maybe he should slow roast the berries? Or maybe you should crush the berries first and then squeeze the juices out from it and then drink the juice. Instead of just healthy. I don't know. I don't know how to prevent poison from berries, so don't take my word for it. So, yeah. Get a professional to help you. You're not a professional. Die. Okay, anyways. Maybe he should slow roast the berries, huh? He scrounged up some wood and made a bowl with his power. Power. Sorry, feeling only the slight tug of exhaustion in his heels. Picking a whole quarter of the bush apart, he walked due east back to his cot and mulled over how to prepare the berries. Fire was really his only option to purify them, and even then, it wasn't like he could just scrape out toxins. Make a pestle with some rocks, dump in water, and hope he could heat into some kind of soup. Berry soup. I'm at the soup store. Were there soups made with berries? Could he use his power to make something? He paused mid-stride and looked at his fingers. The tattoo was even clearer in the open daylight. And it was still amazing how well it stained his skin. If he knew how to craft things from his mind, not just things he knew how to build, but things he knew the basic concept of, it must have its own base of knowledge to pull from. Maybe he could use it in reverse. Use it to identify things. Arriving at his camp, he sat on the cot, still amazed at how well the thing was made. He placed the bowl next to him and stuck his hand over it. If it worked on him envisioning an end result, how would one get options from a single piece of puzzle? Ask a question? He looked between the bowl and his hand and very adamantly thought, what can this build? The result was immediate. The tattoo ignited with blue light, most of which narrowed over the bowl. And then he was overwhelmed. A storm of starry icons exploded in front of him. Wow. Like a menu. Some green, some orange, some red. It was mesmerizing. When he looked at each image, a word, no, a composite, flowed straight through his mind, as though as though he in, in, instinctively instinct in, 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 I can't pronounce that word. Intrinsic intrinsically. It's probably a word I can pronounce, but for some reason I can't read it and then pronounce it or whatever. Maybe a mixture of whatever. Instinct. 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 Ah! Instinct. Instrictly. I'm gonna move on. Understood exactly what the symbol was trying to convey. Starting his breathing, he began to. Excuse me, I'm scratching my foot. Starting his breathing, he began to sort through it. Apparently, apparently these were called gutra berries, since every recipe had some variation of that in its name. Well, that helped. He scrolled to the ones that were green and orange, leafing through the projections like an old touchscreen. Eventually, he ran across an orange icon. An orange icon, a simple porridge made only with the berries and water. Considering that was all he had, he shrugged, poured a healthy amount of water in the bowl, and watched as the projection turned green. With a clench of his fist, the bowl flashed, and sitting at his side was a warm, steaming bowl of berry porridge. Oh, thank God. He reached to the floor and scooped up a bundle of twigs, turning them into a simple spoon without much thought at all. That was pretty convenient. Yeah, he could probably get pretty used to these powers. But first, lunchtime! Or just lunch. Yeah, but first lunch. He scooped the porridge into his mouth. It was coarse and grainy, but warm and savory. Shoveling up another scoop, he downed it. And following that was a third and fourth, groaning as something finally hit his stomach that wasn't a simple liquid. It wasn't too bad. Not bad at all, in fact. He could stomach this. He could survive. Speaking of which, I need to drink. He could stomach this. He could survive. Staring at the porridge, a smile warmed its way into his lips. He could survive. He could find more sticks and make himself a hut. Maybe a proper bed. Better clothes and shoes. He could make a life for himself. Shuddering. A laugh rolled up from his belly, pushing itself out of his aching throat and into the air. It was followed by another, and soon he was breaking down in a fit of laughter, tears streaming freely down his cheeks. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, he had a plan, he had hope, and it was better than any drug could he could possibly imagine. A minute later, he vomited. Oh my gosh, I can almost hear Raymond McNeil's voice reading this, and it's like, a moment later, he vomited. Cheerio. And it looks like I'm going to stop here for today or tonight, this week, whatever. Probably for this week, but for most likely for this week. I will read this next paragraph or whatever. No, actually, no. I'll end it. Yeah, I'll end it here. I'll end right there. Next week I'll reread the last paragraphs of that section because the chapter is divided into sections. As you can tell with these let me see. Where is it? Where's the? I can't see it. Hold on. With that black bar right there. That indicates like, oh, it's at the end of this chunk of the chapter. So yeah, we'll continue in the next live stream. We'll continue from the bottom of page 28, and it looks like we'll end at earned not owed. Hey, we're doing good here. We're doing good. We're doing here. Yeah, but this is the end of the live stream. I want to end the chapter now, but let's see here. I might. Nah. I'll end it later. In the next, I'll probably end it later on. In the next stream that I do this. But before I go, goodbye, friends, goodbye. Okay, sorry. Sorry. Not sorry. This is my stream. This is my channel. My rules. I'm not sorry. You're sorry. You weren't here to protest. Anyways, where was it? Yeah, we'll finish the chapter, and then, I'll pick up in a different book. Actually, yeah, I'll pick back up in the FNAF book. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So what? I'll finish the chapter. I know. I kind of want to continue, but you know what? It depends. Actually, what I'll do for the next stream, I will discuss whether or not to continue this book for the RavenWood Reads series. Because, yeah, let's just leave it at that. If y'all hear that is, and no one's here at the moment, so that's fine. It's fine. But you can definitely comment down below. That's something that you need to do. You also, as a subscriber or a viewer or whoever you are, right? You need to also subscribe if you want me to continue reading the Artificer. five more. Yeah, 5 more subscribers probably. Let's go with it. Let's aim for 5. 5 subscribers, and I'll continue reading the Artificer. Holding it hostage. Anyways, subscribe, share this video, leave a like, leave a dislike. Maybe if you're really mad at me for holding the Artificer hostage, you can leave a dislike if you want to. But definitely share so that you can so I can reach up to 5. At least I only ask for 5 more subscribers. Share, share, share. And I'll read. And I'll be RavenWood. I keep forgetting to introduce myself in the intro. Well, yeah, you read the title. I'm RavenWood. I read. This is the random fandom. And aim for the stars or whatever. Subscribe, share, like, comment down below. Dislike. Ring the bell. That's the thing. Ring the bell, and remember, every Saturday at 10 to 11. Sometimes I'm late a little bit. Like I'm 5 or 10 minutes late due to or sometimes what will happen is the connection will fail or whatever. And then I have to delete what will happen is every Saturday I'll try to start roughly at 10, if not before 10 or whatever, 10 o'clock, right? Unless it rains or the weather is just terrible or something, whatever happens. I don't know. Anyways, so every Saturday I try to read The Artificer at 10 o'clock. Every Monday and Tuesday I try to pick up where I left off. Those are bonus days. Those are bonus days to stream. Okay? Those are not guaranteed days to stream, but those are bonus days to stream. Tuesdays, I might do a random stream depending on when Dominic wants to do this. Sunday, maybe we might stream Sunday. Or in Dominic and I, we're not 100% certain when we'll continue this, but we will try to continue it. So, I'm just trying to check okay, still active. So, here's the deal. Monday and Tuesday, if not Sunday, probably not at 10, but when he's available, we will stream and finish this. And then we'll move on to some other project. Or I'll move on to finishing The Artificer. Or I might start just reading a bunch of books. On Monday, I'll read a different book. On Tuesday, I'll read a different book. But first, we have to get this out of the way. So yeah, Saturday will be Artificer Saturdays. Monday will be a different book. And then Tuesday will be a different book. I'll cover more ground that way. But, however, it's not guaranteed. Again, Monday and Tuesdays are kind of still iffy. So far, Saturdays have been the most consistent days to have a live stream. But anyway, so 10 o'clock p.m. East Standard Time, the East Coast of America Standard Time, right? Georgia area, whatever, is when I go live. Yeah, that's when I go live. When I go live, I go live. But on Mondays and Tuesdays, it just really depends. We might either go live on 10, or we just go live sometime during in the middle of the day. Definitely in the afternoons, if not sometime around in the daytime, morning, whatever, like whatever. But yeah, that's it for the live stream. Let me see. Again, one last time, leave a like, subscribe, share, or hit the bell for notifications, especially if you want to be notified when on Mondays and Tuesdays when we do randomly live stream on, or sometimes 10 o'clock on Mondays, Tuesdays, right? Most definitely on Saturdays. 10. Okay, we're good. We're clear. All right. That's it here. See y'all soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.